On the 21st of September, I stood before the General Assembly of the United Nations to express the case for the United Nations Security Council to deliver a framework that would facilitate the deployment of a multinational security support mission to Haiti as part of a holistic multilateral response to the challenges faced by the nation. Specifically, I pleaded for a resolution under Chapter 7 of the Charter with the appropriate provisions to facilitate support for the Haiti National Police in enhancing its capacity to effectively provide security for the people of Haiti, their infrastructure, and property. I am delighted that today, the Security Council has directly answered this call with UN Security Resolution 2699 of 2023, which mandates the multinational security support mission to reinforce the Haiti National Police with operational support and other joint interventions to enhance its institutional capacity with the aim of increasing its effectiveness in defeating the onslaught of criminal gangs, the rampant violent crime, human arms and drug trafficking, as well as other atrocities. The mission is also mandated to secure the country's critical infrastructure, including air and seaports, as well as other vital transit arteries and intersections. I welcome the resolution as an overdue and critical instrument to define the multinational mission. This mission is a fundamental intervention to provide the necessary conditions for Haiti to consolidate its development and governance. It is therefore absolutely essential that resources as well as operational scope available to the UN team, as well as other humanitarian and development actors on the ground in Haiti, be appropriately reinforced.
Former U.S. Special Envoy for Haiti, Dan Foote, has voiced skepticism over Kenya's plan to send 1,000 police officers on a security mission to troubled Haiti, highlighting that the number of troops falls short of what is required to liberate the Caribbean nation from marauding gangs. In an interview with CNN, Foote pointed out that every time there has been a military intervention in Haiti, at least 20,000 troops have been deployed to Port-au-Prince, adding that none of these missions achieved success. 1,000 isn't going to cut it, and while there have been commitments for double or triple that, that's still not going to cut it. Every time there has been a military intervention in Haiti in the past 20 years, it has had a minimum of 20,000 troops or police going in there, Foote said.
Also from my colleague Lara Madowo from Kenya on that deployment of the Kenyan forces. Clearly, not everyone, Ambassador, at home there agrees with this deployment. Just from the number of troops there, 1,000, is that even going to cut it? Just talk to the challenges, even the risks in your view.
1,000 isn't going to cut it. And while they have commitments for double or triple that, that's still not going to cut it. Every time there's been a military intervention into Haiti in the past 30 years, it's had a minimum of 20,000 troops or police going in there.
Foote further highlighted the Kenyans' public reluctance to support the mission to Haiti. You see the reticence on the part of the Kenyan public to send these guys, and that makes me nervous, he said.
You see the reticence on the part of the Kenyan public to send these guys, and that makes me nervous.
The former envoy additionally suggested that Kenya's motivation to lead the security mission is largely spurred by financial incentives from the UN Security Council and not genuine peacekeeping efforts. I believe that this is more of a cash grab by President Ruto, whose country will receive a lot of money for doing this, he said.
I believe this is more of a cash grabbed by President Ruto, whose country would receive a lot of money for doing this. But the Haitians are well armed, and if the international community imposes this new CARICOM government construct, they're going to fight the Kenyans to the death.
The U.S. government initially pledged $1,000 million, which is equivalent to 13 billion Kenyan shillings, to support the Kenyan-led multinational force to restore security to Haiti, further urging other nations to make similar contributions. Food further warned that the well-armed Haitian gangs will firstly combat Kenyan troops, especially if the proposed CARICOM government is effected in the Caribbean nation. The Haitians are well armed, and if the international community imposes this CARICOM government contract, they are going to fight the Kenyans to death, he said.
The Haitians are well armed, and if the international community imposes this new CARICOM government construct, they're going to fight the Kenyans to the death.
Haiti is currently grappling with a humanitarian crisis occasioned by a significant rise in gang violence. Last week, Kenya announced that a plan to send police to Haiti under a UN-backed multinational mission has been put on hold. Speaking to AFP, Principal Secretary for Foreign Affairs Korir A decision was made after Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry agreed to step aside as armed gangs have taken over much of the Caribbean nation.
My government will leave immediately after the inauguration of the council. We will be a caretaker government until they name a prime minister and a new cabinet. Haiti needs peace. Haiti needs stability.
There has been a fundamental change in circumstances as a result of the complete breakdown of law and order of the subsequent resignation of the PM of Haiti. Korir A, Principal Secretary for Foreign Affairs, told AFP. A, however, said that Kenya remained committed to providing leadership to the MSS, referring to the multinational security support mission that was approved by the UN Security Council in October last year. President William Ruto, however, remains firm on the Kenyan government's commitment to embark on the mission to Haiti.